Today's Drop the Mic presented by Toyota. If you could give a player his prime back for this season, who would it be?
Who would benefit the most is an interesting
I think that's
question.
the best way.
If I would give him their prime back,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
I was thinking him, but also I was thinking like Steph with Jimmy and Draymond.
Austin.
Also, prime LeBron with Luka would be insane. Obviously, LeBron's a cheat code. If you give him his prime, they probably dominate the league. But
KB, you know who I was thinking? It's about benefit the most. Chris Paul might be up there.
Depends on what team he's on.
Disregard the money and all that just stuff. But yeah, I agree.
Since Lonzo would be great with the Cavs.
What do you consider?
I like the
prime?
role player.
Those first few games, those first 25 games of the Bulls.
Yeah,
I like the role player answers too.
That's a good guy. I mean, he's shooting like 43% from three.
Yeah, and he was locking down defensively.
Locking up.
The Cavs would be.
That's funny that your prime can be like just 23 games. But
Brook
yeah.
Lopez from like 5 years ago. I'm not even gonna say like all.
You keep naming free agents. That don't impact the league right now because we don't know where he's at.
Yeah, he would. I mean, I guess that would now pigeonhole the Bucks to where they would now have to try.
But let's assume that they don't know.
Yeah.
Right? He signed to a team like, damn, this look like 2019 Brook Lopez. This look like 2008 Chris Paul. I mean, I think if prime Kyrie, so that means we heal up his ACL and he's with the Dallas Mavericks, that could be pretty fun. That could be pretty fun.
Prime
like
Anthony
that.
Davis with the young cool flag.
Yeah, no, that could be
Yeah.
dope.
I mean, damn, unfortunately, Chris Paul's. Yeah, we don't know where Chris Paul's going to end up.
What you going to say?
I was going to say him with the Spurs, but he's not probably not going to be there.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to see prime Chris Paul with the Spurs anyway.
Who would you
No?
want to see?
De'Aaron Fox,
Oh, true.
Castle, Harper.
All those guys are tradable if you got prime Chris Paul.
But again, they don't
His
know.
ass.
They don't know.
His ass tradable.
Yeah, because he's going to eat up 36 to 37 minutes a night and always going to have the ball, too.
Don't
Who needs a
disrespect my
point guard
goat.
the most?
The Kings.
Don't send my goat to Sacramento.
Hey, he
close-
can make
it's
them
close.
popping a little bit.
It's close to Los Angeles.
You know they was talking about they needed a point guard. You got one of the point guards.
Not one of the point. Only one person has the nickname, and it's him.
I can name some people that's better.
So they don't got the nickname.
You right.
Ben Simmons.
Where is he
Free
even
agent.
going?
Yeah, y'all know
Yeah, he is a free agent, yeah.
Ben Simmons, they would have won that series if we got prime Ben Simmons.
Oh, hell yeah.
Even if he still only played 12 minutes a game, they'd be a good 12 minutes.
That would be, him in his prime playing 12 minutes would be crazy.
It's a good question.
Prime
though.
Ben Simmons is a monster. I got to go watch those highlights.
Dame with the
Man,
Bucks.
remember he almost got a DPOY too.
Yeah, he was second, right?
Yep. To
Second or
Rudy.
third.
Second to Rudy.
I feel like the whole league probably feel like they got robbed from multiple DPOI players. DPOI awards just because Rudy just won 4.
Who else other than Ben? And Draymond. Draymond's pretty.
Draymond. That
He's
was
pretty
probably the
vocal
only
about
two.
it. Yeah.
Those are probably the two. Draymond probably feels it the most.
Have you ever had a year where you felt like Draymond deserved it over Rudy? Obviously, Draymond's a better defender overall,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't
but
remember.
a year-by-year basis.
But I definitely would say some of those years, I wouldn't have been mad if Dre won it.
Sure. It's fair.
He had them regular season stats, man. Like, it didn't always become really the biggest question until the playoffs came.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking the other day? And I forgot to mention this on my
thinking
He
the
was
other day?
thinking.
Sometimes I'm driving and my phone won't connect to the Bluetooth, so I'm just sitting in silence, and that's when I think.
Oh,
But that's
crazy.
just the worst.
That's when you
just
talk to yourself.
That's just, no, that's
Well, I
the
think it
worst.
is talking to yourself when you think about
I ain't think about that.
it. All right, just hear me out.
I'm listening.
Tyrese Halliburton is my new Rudy Gobert, in a sense that he's gonna have many games where he does not have 30 or 25 or even 20. Well, I'm gonna have to come out to the internet in the world and say, no, that is a good game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for 7 years I defended Rudy Gobert, and they say, look at this, he got no hands, and he don't do this, he don't do that. And I'm like, bro, but watch the game. Look at the numbers. When he is on the court, the team's dramatically better defensively. I feel the same thing about Reese.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm gonna have to defend Reese because he's been in the finals now and he just did what he did in the finals. But I suspect that 3 years down the line, the conversation might shift, and I'm gonna have to be the guy to be like, they have a 128 offensive rating with him on and a 102 when he's
I
off.
don't know. Rudy is
And Hall of Famer, yeah, I agree.
different. Tyrese don't do shit like Rudy.
I think optically their impacts are so Optically, their impacts may not be seen, but it's obviously so great. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean,
I think it's more of a stretch for Rudy. His impact literally can't be seen in a box score or nothing. Where you can look and Tyrese Halliburton can have 9, 6, and 13.
But even sometimes when he got 9, 4, and 4, you're like, damn, obviously he didn't shoot the ball
That's
well.
way rare. Then, like Rudy can do his thing defensively without having 4 blocks.
Sure.
But you see him drop the ball, he's not scoring, and then that's when everybody have the outrage. Or you see Terrence Mann,
because I think some of that
36 points.
Even
not his fault.
even when he does have games that are really good defensively, sometimes those couple plays that he messes up on, those be so glaring that again, that's where he be getting really scrutinized on, even if he has those good games.
But even with Tyrese, the reason I'm putting it like paralleling it is that like even in a game where they win and he had 15 points, the conversation was like he need to be more aggressive. When it's like his aggression is different than him taking 12 more shots at times.
Yeah,
For sure. But he did need to be more aggressive. They
Sure.
are factually better when he has shown that he's more aggressive. I just think that Rudy is in his own little bubble.
Yeah, and part of that is what you said about him. I think Tyrese having the moments and just moments in the playoffs in general will give him a little bit
He
more
went.
benefit.
Yeah, like you said, he went to the finals.
But Rudy did hit that turnaround jump shot. That's the same as 4 game winners in one playoff.
Has Rudy ever been the best player on his team?
No.
I don't
No.
think we've ever called him that.
No.
I did once, but I take it back.
I think Tyrese
Was it
Halliburton
the-
is
it was with
clear
Don,
cut.
right?
It was his last year in Utah.
Yeah, I think Tyrese Halliburton is clear cut best player. You have moments where Pascal Siakam looks like that, but I don't think you have to argue as much.
Hope not.
Yeah, I think everybody understands how good Tyrese is.
I talked to him 2 days ago.
Same.
And
But I told him on Discord.
we were talking about the
I'm just
future
messing with
of the NBA.
The future of the NBA.
Yeah, and I was saying like, I got to hype up Noah Sengay because he's a Bull now. He's got 0 games played. He's got to be the next Giannis, obviously. And I was like, give him 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Give him 2 years. We'll be all right. He'd be like, I'll be ready in 2 years. And it hit my heart. I'm like, damn, you are not playing next season. You know what I mean?
So it is 2 years.
I don't know if it's full 2 years, but like, it
I'll-
is.
It was
always-
literally at the tail end of the season.
I always look
you
at
know
it
what
as
I'm saying?
1 year, but damn.
1 season, but back in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by that time, Sengay might be like runner for DPOY or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I hope so for y'all.
Him and Isaac Okoro now defensive.
So
Woo!
that means Modest Buzelis is Patrick Williams, huh?
No. You acting like we can't be Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and
You say Giannis. You can't beat Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown
well, we could. The Bucks never gave him his Jaylen Brown.
because you can't have one.
Yes, you can.
Not if you're Giannis.
Yes, you can.
You got to be Chris Middleton.
Nah.
Yeah, you could be Jaylen Brown when next to Giannis.
Yeah, of course.
You got to be Chris Middleton.
Jaylen Brown is, Jaylen Brown's like Chris Middleton on steroids a little bit.
No,
I don't see that at
no,
all.
Fuck, he is not.
I just think he's like an elevated version of what Chris.
No, he's not. Not in the slightest.
I was thinking to myself, who's
Wait,
this?
time out. How? What about their games make them anything?
I think they're great at playing off of their star player, but they can also have the skill set of being a number 1 option on most nights. I just think Jaylen
think
Brown
Chris
does it at a
Middleton
higher
can-
level.
So you're saying role, not
Yeah,
their actual play style.
Yeah.
You think Chris Middleton is the number 1 option on most nights?
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
You
I
just
said
said they
that
both
some
can
night-
play off their guy,
But some
play
nights
like a number 1 option on most nights.
they can. Like they can. Did I say most nights? I meant to say that some nights they can play like a true number 1 option.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of guys around the NBA that could play on some nights be the number 1 option. I mean, I know Christian ain't know, but Corey Brewer had a 50-point game.
That's
He had to look that shit up. We told his ass stop, bro.